Good evening, folks. This is JK from the Ministry of Otaku. I hope you are doing okay in this dystopian and catastrophic world we're living in. Now, just today, I think, was it yesterday? Probably yesterday or today, there was a walkout of all Activision Blizzard employees protesting the controversy regarding the controversy that arose when the state of California filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard for historic history of sexual harassment and worker abuse against women employees. Now, the people behind the walkout, the Activision Blizzard walkout, actually imposed four demands: the end of forced arbitration for all employees, worker participation and oversight of hiring and promotion policies, the need for greater pay transparency to ensure equality, and employee selection of a third party to audit audit HR, which is human resources and other company processes. I mean, it says here that today's walkout will demonstrate that this will not be a one-time event that our leaders can ignore. Seriously, I think it's just going to be a one-day event. It's not a strike. It's just a walkout. If they really insist on these four pillars, they will do a strike immediately. But here's the clue that it's not going to be an actual. It's about workers' rights. Cause seriously, if this was about workers' rights, they would have protested against crunch, the need for mental health, the need for higher pay, and also the need to stop firing people when the company gets huge profits. And it happened twice at Activision Blizzard. But instead, if you look closely at this statement here, it says this is the beginning of an enduring movement in favor of better labor conditions for all employees, especially women, in particular women of color and transgender women, non-binary people, and other marginalized groups. So it's not really about workers' rights at all. It's not really about workers' rights at all. But rather, in reality, it's about diversity, equity, and inclusion. No real workers' rights, nothing substantial about sexual harassment or better working conditions. It's just basically woke protesting. Let's compare this. Let's compare these four demands with the four demands that they really want. First one is the end of forced arbitration for all employees. Their full statement is an end to mandatory arbitration clauses in all employee contracts, current and future. Arbitration clauses protect abusers and limit the ability of victims to seek restitution. I think that's a good idea, in my opinion. That's a good idea. The second one, worker participate in oversight in hiring and promotion policies. What they really want is the adoption of recruiting, interviewing, hiring, and promotion policies designed to improve representation among employees at all levels, agreed upon by employees in a common-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion organization. A third-party equity, diversity, and inclusion. Not hiring based on merit. I have no objection to having a more diverse workforce as long as they get in by merit, as long as they're able to do the job. And if they have the skills to do the job, you train them, like employers used to do before the 2008 economic crisis. Seriously. I think they're just going to hire people just because they exist, not on their merit, not on skill. Basically, they want to do diversity hiring. Now, for demand number 3, the need for greater pay transparency to ensure equality. their actual demand is the publication of their own relative compensation, including equity grants and profit sharing, promotion rates, and salary range for employees of all genders and ethnicities at the company. Current practice has led to aforementioned groups not being paid or promoted fairly. I mean, I have no objection on compensation based on merit and skill level. But pay equity, that's a bad idea. And the fourth one is employee selection of a third party to audit HR and other company processes. What they really want is empower a company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion task force to hire a third party to audit ABK's reporting structure, HR department, and executive staff. It is imperative to identify how current systems have failed to prevent employee harassment and to propose new solutions to address these issues. Reality is just a way to inject diversity, inclusion, and equity, instead of actually addressing the real issues facing the company, which is the fact that they have a crunch problem, they have a mental health problem, they got a sexual harassment problem, and also the quality of their games has gone to crap, especially with World of Warcraft. I mean, World of Warcraft has gone so bad that when Asmongold transitioned to Final Fantasy XIV, most players transitioned to Final Fantasy XIV almost immediately. And it makes a lot of sense because I actually played Final Fantasy XIV before, and it had the same interface, a similar interface to World of Warcraft, because people from Square Enix who developed Final Fantasy XIV, especially the recreation of Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn, actually played World of Warcraft, and they actually thanked the developers of World of Warcraft for inspiration for remaking Final Fantasy XIV. So the real issue is the fact that there's a massive distraction from the fact that due to this lawsuit, that they're trying to avoid making better games. They're trying to avoid making World of Warcraft better. And gamers are not winning. They're transitioning to Final Fantasy XIV. And work has already stopped on World of Warcraft, and on Overwatch, and on Overwatch 2. It begs the question, what will actually happen to Activision Blizzard? To be honest with you, all this, nothing is going to get done. No real issue is going to be solved. And by the way it looks like it, most likely what will happen instead is that Activision Blizzard will dissolve itself. What about the access to the game? Well, hopefully they're going to be promised that they're going to be bought by Tencent, the Chinese company that bought you those many mobile games. But that's my opinion. If that's my opinion. So seriously, leave a like, a comment, tell me what's your opinions on this. I'll see you in the next video. Try to take care of yourselves, will you?